on the house. Overgrown shrubbery clambered for daylight above the wall. A dog barked. He checked behind him. No one. It seemed that in every street of France a chained dog barked. But it wasn't in the target house. There nothing moved. Not even a breeze to lift the torn lace curtain that he could just make out behind a cracked window pane. He bought a fresh croissant. The woman smiled, thanked him, wished him a pleasant day. French civility ruled. "Madame," he said, taking his change from a 10, "I'm looking for an old friend who lives in these parts."
"Oh, then you've come to the right place. My husband and I have run our business for over 30 years. We know all our customers."
She hesitated and took a second look at the tall, stubble-faced man dressed in jeans and a weatherproof oiled cotton jacket.
"Your accent is not from round here?"
"No," Raglan answered. There was no need to tell her anything more. 15 years in the Foreign Legion's Specialist Commando Unit, and since then his work as a freelance asset for intelligence services, could twist an accent this way and that. "His name is Jacques Allard." French civility disappeared. Her lip curled.
"You're not welcome here. You and your kind. Get out before I call the police. We're sick of drug dealers. You shame us. Go on."
"Madame, I apologize, but I have nothing to do with drugs. My friend and I served in the army together," he said to placate her. If the elderly woman was correct and Jacques was dealing or using, then he was already implicated in the woman's mind. She was a perfect police witness if trouble erupted. She shouted after Raglan as he left the bakery,
"Soldiers, you're good for nothing. Better you should get yourselves killed than come back home and disturb decent people."
Raglan was already out of sight. The half-eaten croissant tossed for the foraging birds. There was no other crumb of kindness to be had in these back streets. Chapter 2. The sheet metal gate was locked from the inside. Raglan checked over his shoulder. The street was empty. He climbed over. The broken canopy across the front of the house flapped forlornly. The old door hadn't seen a lick of paint since Napoleon Bonaparte had stopped for a mouthful of abuse at the corner bakery. Raglan wiped a layer of grime away from the frosted glass set in the door. There was no bell, no door knocker. He pressed his palm against the wood and, with little effort, felt it give. Someone had already forced the door and eased it closed behind them. If an intruder was still inside, and this was drug-related, then odds-on he was armed. Raglan reached inside his pocket and took the 4 2-euro coins the woman in the bakery had given him as change. Big coins. Decent weight. Pressing aside the door, he stepped into the gloom of the narrow entrance hallway. Most houses like this had a room on either side and another at the back that served as a kitchen and place to eat. The first of the 2 rooms had a bed and enough detritus to make it look like a squat. The second room was worse. The whole house stank. He stepped down the passageway, rolling his feet to lessen any chance of hitting a creaking floorboard. Someone was moving in the back room. A muted grunt of exertion, and then the sound of a drawer being wrenched open. There was another small door on his left at the end of the passageway, but he was too close to the intruder to open and check it. Pressing his back against the wall opposite the door, he dared a glance around the corner. A man was bent over, rummaging in a low chest of drawers. He wore a leather jacket, jeans and trainers. Dark-haired, stocky. Lying on a threadbare sofa, whose springs had long since gone, was Jacques Allard, wearing only a pair of boxer shorts, impervious to the cold. Dead. Raglan was about to step into the room when the door to his left opened. A burly man, head down, struggling with his shirt tails caught in a trouser zip. "It doesn't flush," he muttered, and then he looked up. Raglan hit him in the throat. A short